Summer love, I can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my head. Keep me close, never let me go. We're riding waves until the sun sets. I know the sun will always keep us warm, and you'll never have to feel alone. Summer love, I can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my head. My summer love. My summer love. Summer love, I can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my head. Keep me close, never let me go. We're riding waves until the sun sets. I know the sun will always keep us warm, and you'll never have to feel alone. Summer love, I can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my head. My summer love. Summer love, I can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my
Take my thoughts with you, and when you look behind, you will surely see a face that you recognize. You're not alone. I'll wait till the end of time, hoping you're mine. Surely it's plain to see. You're not alone. I'll wait till the end of time for you. You're not alone. Surely it's time to be with me. It is the distance that makes life a little hard. Two minds that once were close, now so many miles apart. I will not falter though, I'll hold on till you're home, safely back where you belong, and see how our love has grown. You're not alone. I'll wait till the end of time for you, hoping you're mine. Surely it's time to be with me. You're not alone. You're not alone. I'll wait till the end of time for you. You're not alone.
Thousand miles away. If I only knew what else I could do, well, maybe then you'd say you'd jump on a plane and we'd start again. How did we fall apart? I've been searching for answers. Me and my broken heart, trying to let go. You're on my mind. I'm sitting on the sideline, staring at the time. I wish you were here, watching the waves break. Look around for God's sake, dreaming wide awake. I wish you were here, wish you were here. Everywhere I turn, your face in the crowd, the sun beating down. Will I ever learn how to move on without you here? When did we fall apart? I've been searching for answers. I just wanna restart, trying to let go. You're on
What up, everybody? Happy freaking Wednesday. You good over there?
Hello, buddy. And yeah, I'm fine. Leave me alone.
For those who might not know, Carmen was unplugging her vape during the intro. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday. Cheers, cheers, everybody. What up, Ma? Good afternoon. I hope you are having a wonderful day.
Good afternoon, CJ. I hope you're having a good afternoon.
What up, Kay and Josh and Kinley and Puppers, maybe? I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday.
Good afternoon, Heather. Happy New Year's Eve. I hope you're having a good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ash. I hope you were having a dope New Year's Eve afternoon. But I'm not going to lie, I read New York and then my mind went because there's no C there. But I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon.
Wow.
NYE, that threw me off. I was like, New York East? That's not right. I hope everybody's had a dope day. Should we get baked before we get baked for Guardians of Unity?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. I don't know. This has been a good one lately. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I think today is the best day of my life. Gonna rent a bicycle and ride around the city from 9 till 5. I think today is the best day of my life. Thought thinking about a future all the time. If I'm alone, and I don't mind. Movie stars in black and white pictures. Warm beer and Valium mixtures. Am I in a dream? Crazy as it seems. I think today is the best day of my life. Saw a billboard, said something like everything's gonna be alright. I think today is the best day of my life. My girlfriend looked worried and asked me why, but I don't know, so I didn't reply. Laying on the car, you've got stars, I've got scars they don't see. I think today is the best day of my life. Last night all I wanted to do was die. Right now I'm happy to be alive. I think today is the best day of my life. Last night all I wanted to do was die. Right now I'm happy to be alive.
It's all Beans' fault why I'm coughing over here so badly.
Probably, but no.
Before the show started, he's like, you ain't gonna smoke off your vape. You ain't gonna do nothing. And yeah.
Okay, first of all, I think if I was going to talk shit, I'd do a better job than that. And that is not what I sound like. Thank you.
Okay. He'll be like, your bitch ass ain't gonna do no nose dab or not do anything like that. So
There we go. That's a little more accurate. Thank you. Hope everybody's had a good New Year's Eve day. Has anybody done anything fancy or fun? Ma, did you get grapes? Do you have any grapes?
Do you have any grapes?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good day here. Watched a little bit of football, worked on a few things, hung out. I'm excited for tomorrow afternoon. Don't miss out. We'll be going over all of the schedule stuff, any of the code changes and stuff like that. Be discussing tomorrow afternoon. And if you want to catch all the new intros and background and stuff, make sure you're there right away tomorrow. Let's go, grapes. What did I say last night, Cornbread, when you were like, oh, my mom's going to get fireworks? And I was like, what? She also has to get what?
Grapes.
And why did I say she has to get grapes?
Because Ma says to get grapes.
She does. Grapes. Grapes at midnight. I don't know, but I do remember you make a big thing about grapes at midnight. And so I respect that.
You guys hear this? Like, beans is super spicy right now.
I am not that spicy. I'm like a mild
Look how defensive he got. Oh!
I am like a mild picante today.
Yeah.
It's not that spicy.
Mm.
We do have new Guardians of Unity chapters. Don't miss out on the listening party tonight. It's going to be dope. I will be at work, but I will definitely have it on the YouTube boob tube. One minute out. 12 grapes at midnight. Oh my Lanta. That's a lot of grapes for my little stomach.
12 grapes.
That's too many grapes. Cornbread, you might have to eat some of my grapes. I will just toss them really hard, and you have to open your mouth.
You better toss that like.
I will. I said I'll throw it really hard, yo. What are you fucking?
Well, I don't need you to throw it really hard and hit me in the face.
I mean, it's got to be from here to there. That's pretty far. What up, Tim?
Hey, what up, Tim, you weirdo?
Oh, Tim, what would we do without you, man? It's been a good year, bro. I hope you're having a wonderful. I hope you're having a wonderful New Year's Eve day. Happy 420, everybody.
Cheers.
Our last getting stoned again of the year.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Smoke weed every day.
Let's fucking go. What up, Roy?
What up, Roy? Good afternoon. Much love. Happy New Year's Eve.
Okay, so
No.
255 days in a year, right?
Yeah.
So we've missed some shows, so I'm gonna say like 357 because that's a great. You know what I mean.
Do I though?
You know what I mean. All right, so twice a day. So this year we have played Getting Stoned Again roughly 714 times, you guys.
Dang.
Yes. Okay, so let's just do an average of 4 nose dabs a show times 2 shows times like 3 to 357. What? That seems like a lot. You have roughly done approximately 2,856 nose dabs this year.
No, I definitely have not.
Okay, so 4 nose dabs times 2 shows times 357 days is 2,856.
Okay, but I have not done that many because I don't do that many.
Yeah. So I bet you would probably have done at least 2,000 nose dabs.
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't go.
I would say I've done at least 2,000 nose dabs.
Oh, you? Yes, definitely. Me? No.
What else?
Nothing. I don't know.
Okay. We've had this conversation, and like on a good average, I'll smoke an ounce a week. Okay. So that's 28 grams times 55 weeks. We smoked about 1,500 grams of weed this year.
Okay. Well, I smoke an ounce in like 4 days.
4 days?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we'll go 28 times 2 times 55. All right, so I'd say probably about 3,000 grams of weed this year.
Yes, CJ.
I'm a mathematician.
You muddy trucker, Tim. I do like my joints, CJ. Yes, you are absolutely right.
I've been blunting it up like crazy, and then now I'm taking my blunts and burning them back down in the mushroom. So.
Here you go, Tim. Fucking weirdo. That was a good one. So, you're welcome, Tim.
Hey, what a magic.
What a magic.
Hope you're having a dope day. All right. We do have some Guardians of Unity. We'll jump into last week's. Well, we've been week 4 to Christmas, but you know what I mean. Good, cornbread? All right, here we go, everybody.
Last time on Guardians of Unity, Dawn hit the camp sideways, finding Kay hunched over her battlefield rig, while the others tried to pretend sleep still existed. A distress call cracked through the cold air from a relay that shouldn't exist. R17C, a fallback node she'd only ever sketched on paper. The signal was wrapped in her own encryption, carrying real ward codes, real casualty estimates, and a voice that sounded exactly like any exhausted Guardian begging for help from a collapsing line. Magic's gut said bait, but the Smith, Manbear, and Kay all knew the same ugly truth. If they ignored a scream and it was real, they'd never forgive themselves. So they chose the harder path, send a knife instead of a wall. Kay with the rig to read the trap, Ash at her side, the Smith as anchor, Manbear watching their backs as they dropped into the mist-soaked river valley toward a ruined watchtower and a ghost relay that should not have been there. Inside the tower, they found it, a spider web of twisted wire, crystal, and scavenged Guardian tech, humming where a beacon pedestal once stood. As Kay stepped close, her rig flared awake at the distress call hit at full strength. Stitched from real Guardian chatter, replayed on the loop, too perfect to be anything but malicious. Then the web bared its teeth. The signal spiked, the doors slammed in their faces, and illusions folded over reality like a second skin. Lydia Malvora watched them from a spinning shard of a crystal, and in the next heartbeat Kay was alone inside a room that wasn't a room anymore. The tower filled with weaponized ghosts, Beans, Coffsey, Yerp, all bleating and begging. Their voices twisted just enough to pry at every crack in Kay's conscience. Lydia circled her like a surgeon, narrating every doubt, calling her weak, overmatched, a puppet who'd walked into a machine built to break her mind and hijack the network she'd sworn to protect. Kay staggered under the psychic pressure and the physical blows, but refused to fold. Instead, she turned to the one thing Lydia hated most about her, cold logic. If this was a trap keyed to her codes, then she could flip at least one piece of it. She ripped a hole in the interference long enough to fire off a jagged, corrupted burst through the rig. Not a clean call for help, but a flare with Ash's name buried inside it. Outside, Ash felt that broken signal like a punch. She drove herself, the Smith, and Manbear straight into the storm of Lydia's magic, hacking through layered illusions that tried to scatter and stall them. Inside the tower, Kay fought on borrowed seconds, blocking Lydia's blade with scrap metal, taking hits that shook her to the bone, refusing to give the Malvora the quiet execution she wanted. Just as Lydia raised her weapon for the finishing strike, the side of the tower blew inward, Ash forcing her way through, blade first. In a flash of steel and stubborn fury, Ash drove her sword into Lydia's side, breaking the perfect choreography of the trap. The Malvora agent answered with a blast of dark power that hurled Ash away, but the rhythm was broken. Kay surged back to her feet, grabbed a jagged shard of metal, and slammed it into Lydia's exposed flank, shattering her control. The illusions cracked like glass around them. With the tower finally showing its true shape, Ash stepped back in beside Kay, raised her sword, and buried it in Lydia Malvora's heart. The voices cut off. The web went dark. Manbear and the Smith staggered in from the edges of the broken mirage to find two guardians standing over the corpse of one of Victor's sharpest blades. Lydia Malvora is dead. The relay net has been exposed as a battlefield in its own right, and the Malvoras now know exactly who broke their favorite illusionist. Stay tuned for this week's Guardians of Unity. Victor's quiet war just lost its knife in the dark, and his backlash is coming.
Let's fucking go. And what are you laughing over there about? Are you laughing about fucking Tim's comment towards me?
No.
Fucking lies.
Never. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you are, Kay. I'm always a baked cornbread. I don't know what you're talking about, Tim. While Beans sits over there and smiles still.
Oh, smile. Maybe not, but okay. All right. Here we go. Chapter 240 freaking 5.
Let's go.
Chapter 245. News carried in bruises. They came back wrong. Not wrong like muddy and tired. Everyone came back muddy and tired. Wrong like the air around them had changed shape, like the world had taken a bite out of them and decided it liked the taste. Ash limped into camp with her jaw set so tight it looked painful, one hand pressed hard to her ribs, knuckles white. There was blood on her sleeve that didn't match the cut on her cheek. One eye was already swelling shut, the skin around it darkening fast. Kay was beside her, and the sight of Kay made the whole camp go quiet in a different way. Her comm rig hung crooked, cracked at one hinge, crystals dim as cooling coals, but it was Kay herself that hit like a punch. Dried blood at her throat, a slice across her collarbone half-packed with field wrap. one boot leaving a smear where her foot should have been steady. She walked like each step had to be negotiated with her own bones. Step, wait, breath, repeat. And the way she kept her jaw locked said she was doing math to keep from falling apart. Men-Bear and the Smith followed a few paces behind, both moving slower than they had any right to. The Smith's sledgehammer dragged for a moment before he corrected it, face paler under the grime. Men-Bear's eyes were glassy with leftover spell sickness, blinking too slow, like the world was still trying to put him back to sleep. Heads turned. Conversations died mid-syllable. Someone started to call out, then stopped like the sound had hit a wall. Beans was already moving. Then he saw how they were moving, and his pace changed, urgency turning sharp. "Whoa, hey!" Beans cut across the mud fast, hands up like he was trying not to startle a wounded animal. His eyes went straight to Kay's throat, then to Ash's ribs, then back to Kay's feet. "What the hell happened to you two? Kay, was that signal real? Was it—" Coffsey was on him, the cough caught in his chest, finally breaking loose. "Jesus, Kay," he rasped, and it didn't sound like a joke or a line. It sounded like fear. He reached out like he was going to steady her, then hesitated, seeing the way she flinched when the wind hit her cut. "That call you got, the distress, did somebody actually need us, or did she—" A figure pushed through the knot of staring soldiers with a lantern in one hand and a roll of clean wrap in the other. Amber, hair pulled back messily, sleeves already stained from someone else's night. Her eyes took in Kay's throat, Ash's ribs, the way Man-Bear blinked too slowly, and her face sharpened into that terrifying calm she wore right before she started making people live. "Sit," Amber ordered, voice low and absolute. "Both of you, now." Kay tried to wave it off. "You're not," Amber cut in, brisk and unafraid, stepping right into Kay's space like the injuries belonged to her now. Her fingers hovered near Kay's neck wrap, not touching yet, reading the tremor in Kay's breath with the precision of a chef gauging a boil by sound. "Don't argue with me. You can explain your spooky radio nightmare after you breathe." Ash shook her head once, stubborn even while swaying. "We don't have time." Amber's gaze snapped to Ash, sharp as a cleaver. "You don't have time to collapse either. Sit, or I'm putting you down myself." Beans exhaled like he hadn't realized he'd been holding his breath. "Amber." "Not now," Amber said, without looking at him, already peeling back Kay's makeshift wrap to check the cut underneath. "Beans, you can be worried in a minute. Right now you can hold her up so I can work." Coffsey looked like he wanted to argue out of pure panic. She's white," he said, nodding at Kay, like naming it would fix it. Then, still half looking past them into the mist, "Kay, answer me. What did the signal turn out to be?" Kay's mouth twitched like she almost tried to make a joke and couldn't find the energy. "A knife," she managed. "A knife wearing my handwriting." Amber's voice softened by half a degree, still steel, just less sharp. "Good. Now in, out, nice and slow. Don't you dare faint on me, genius." Kay obeyed anyway. Coffsey's eyes pinned on her. "And Lydia?" Ash looked at him. For a second it seemed like she might joke, might throw a shrug and a Tuesday into the air and make it all feel smaller. She didn't. "She's not coming back," Ash said. Kay's throat worked. She nodded once, small and precise. "Lydia Malvora is dead." The words didn't explode. They dropped. A stone in the middle of camp. A ripple that moved through every face it touched. Beans just stared at them for a beat, like his brain refused to accept that the people saying it were the same people standing there barely upright. "Dead?" he repeated, too quiet. "You two did that? Looking like this?" Coffsey's eyes narrowed, disbelief and something darker fighting for space. "Dead. Dead?" he asked, like he'd learned the hard way that monsters sometimes played possum. Ash's hand tightened on her ribs. "Dead." The Smith huffed a rough laugh that had no humor in it. "If she's faking it, she's committed." Man-Bear didn't speak. He just stared at the ground for a beat, like he could see the tower floor through the mud and distance and time, then lifted his head again, jaw locked. Amber's hands didn't stop moving. She pressed fresh wrap against Kay's collarbone cut, tight enough to matter, gentle enough not to punish. "All right," she said, mostly to herself. "You're not spilling out. That's a win." Then she looked at Ash's ribs, eyes narrowing. "And you," she said, "if that's cracked, I'm going to be so mad at you I'll cook you soup out of spite." Ash let out something between a laugh and a wince. "Noted." Magic felt it before the questions could pile up. A thin, clean snap somewhere inside him, like a wire under tension finally giving way. Not pain, not fear. Something colder, like the world acknowledging a debt had been paid and immediately presenting the next bill. He turned without thinking and walked toward the War Council space, toward the mapped table, toward the lanterns and the hard decisions. "Council," he said, voice carrying farther than it should have. "Now." Beans blinked once, then nodded like the decision hurt. He kept his hand under Kay's elbow anyway. "You're coming," he told her, and when she started to protest, he added, "But you're leaning on me and you're not saying a damn word until you're seated." Amber pointed at Kay without looking up. "She's leaning on you until I say otherwise," she corrected, then jabbed a finger at Ash. "And you're leaning on Coffsey because I'm not patching your face twice." Coffsey stepped in on Ash's other side without asking. "Yeah," he muttered. "You're not face-planting in front of the whole camp. Not happening." They gathered fast because the way Ash and Kay looked was the kind of message you didn't postpone. Inside the command tent, the air smelled of ink, damp canvas, and smoke that had seeped into everything. Beans took the head without ceremony because someone had to. Man-Bear and the Smith leaned against a support beam like two bruised pillars. Coffsey stood near the flap, eyes flicking as if he expected the world to lunge. Amber stayed near the entrance at first, arms crossed, watching like a hawk that had decided, temporarily, not to bite. Kay didn't sit at first. She stood by the table, fingers resting on the edge, knuckles pale. Ash stayed close to her without making it obvious, like proximity could be a shield. Beans didn't waste time. "Start from the beginning," he said, voice rough. "That signal, the one that pulled you out there. What did it turn out to be, Kay? Was there actually a ward?" Coffsey added, quieter, like he didn't want the answer. "Was someone screaming for us, or was it Lydia making it sound like they were?" Kay's gaze stayed on the table. "It was a distress loop," she said, "not live, not real time. A recorded plea dressed up with interference to mimic a collapsing line." Beans's jaw clenched. "How did it get past your locks?" Kay's mouth twitched again, anger, not humor. "Because it was wearing them. It came in as R-17C. The Smith frowned. "R what?" "R-17C, Kay repeated, and now her voice had that thin-edged clarity she used when she was trying not to shake. "A fallback relay label from my own old sketches. A relay we were supposed to build someday and never did." Coffsey stared. "So she guessed a code name?" "No," Kay said, immediate. "She used my recursive lock, the extra twist I never documented. The only one I ever carried in habit." She swallowed hard. She didn't guess. She learned. Ash stepped in because Kay's throat was working around something sharp. "When we got near the tower, the signal strengthened. Too clean, like we'd stepped into the mouth of it. And the rig started spitting out snippets of Guardian chatter mixed in with the distress call." Her eyes flicked at Coffsey. "Real calls Kay would have routed days ago, woven between fake ones. Same cadence, wrong timing." "They're mixing recordings with live-looking noise," Beans murmured, disgusted. "It's smart," Kay said flatly. "It sells the lie." Magic's gaze lifted. "And the tower?" Ash's expression tightened. The relay equipment inside was just too perfect, too clean. Guardian components placed like an exhibit, she exhaled. It wasn't a ward, it was a hook. Beans's knuckle went white on the table edge. "So Lydia built a fake node?" Kay nodded once. "And keyed it to me, to my habits. My response timing, the way I prioritize certain word codes. She mapped the web by mapping me. Coffsey's voice went rough, and you walked right into it. Kay didn't deny it. Because if it had been real, I couldn't ignore it. That's what she counted on. The second we were in, Ash continued, she hit us with illusion pressure. Tight, practical. Not to scare us, to separate us and hide her movements. The smith shifted, grimace deepening. She dropped me and Manbear early, he said. One sweep, didn't even look like effort. Manbear's voice rumbled thick, like being told to sleep by the air itself. Beans's eyes went back to Kay. And you? Kay's fingers tightened on the table. She separated me just enough, she said. Not far, but enough that every shout sounded wrong. Every angle looked like a lie. Then she went physical. Coffsey swallowed. And the signal, it just kept playing? It kept looping, Kay said, over and over, like a metronome, like a reminder of what I'm supposed to be responsible for. Ash's gaze dropped for a beat, then lifted again. Kay fought back the only way she could. She kept forcing Lydia to correct details. She couldn't resist being right. Every correction anchored her. Every scoff was a footprint. Magic's eyes narrowed. You baited her back. Kay nodded once. Logic is a lever, even against magic. Beans leaned in, voice quieter now. And when did you realize it was Lydia herself on the other end? Kay's stare went distant. When the web pulled, she said, when the signal stopped being background and started being aimed. Coffsey's jaw flexed. Okay, he said, and it sounded like it hurt. So then what? You just... He jerked his chin like the word killed was too big to throw casually. Did it? No, Ash said immediately. She didn't go down easy. Kay's voice went quieter. She had my throat at one point. Coffsey's eyes flashed raw. Kay held up a hand, stopping him. I'm here. Ash swallowed hard. She said. Ash glanced at Kay, and Kay nodded once, giving permission. She said, if you cut the mind of an army, the body dies screaming. Silence pressed down so hard that the lantern flame looked like it struggled to breathe. Beans leaned forward, voice rougher. And the end? Team effort, Ash said simply. Kay created the opening. Lydia overcommitted because she thought Kay was alone. Ash's jaw clenched. She wasn't. I delivered the final blow. No one cheered. There was no room for that kind of victory. Coffsey dragged a hand down his face, and when he dropped it, his eyes were bright with something he refused to name. So the signal was never a ward, he muttered. It was Lydia, hooking Kay like a damn fish. Kay's voice went clinical again, a shield she could not hold. One Malvora removed from the board, she said. Victor will adjust. He'll do more than adjust, Beans said, and the way he said it made it clear he hated being right. That was his wife. Magic finally spoke, voice even. I felt the snap, he said, like a tether being severed. This isn't a tactical loss for Victor. It's a wound. Beans's gaze cut to him. Personal. Magic nodded once. Personal. Manbear's hands flexed at his sides like he was resisting the urge to crush something. What does personal look like, he rumbled, for a man like that? Coffsey's mouth twisted. Psychic, he said, spitting out the word like ash. He's already tried getting into our heads. He'll push harder now. Kay's shoulders lifted in a shallow breath. Strategic, she said. He'll hit the comms, the wards. He'll try to turn our own network against us again, but scaled. If Lydia could map one person, Victor will map the whole system. Beans tapped the table once, firm. Or something worse, he said, because someone had to say it. He could go for Ma and CJ's cottage, the runners, the people we're protecting, the soft parts. Amber's expression tightened at that, and for the first time she spoke from the edge of the room, voice low and dangerous. Then we start making sure they're not alone. Magic's hand moved, 2 fingers tracing a pattern in the air like he was already building a ward in his mind. We increase layers, he said, starting tonight. No single-channel dependence, no predictable relay patterns, no open listening windows longer than a breath. Kay's head snapped up, stubbornness sparking through the pain. I can rewrite the lock rotation, triple it, add false routing that collapses if touched wrong. And we stop using legacy call signs entirely. Beans pointed at her. Do it, he said. Then his voice softened by a fraction, almost against his will. After Amber checks you, not before. Ash didn't wait for the instructions this time. I'm not leaving her side, she said, and there was no argument in it. It was a fact. Beans didn't argue. He nodded once, then looked at Manbear and the Smith. You two, perimeter shift rotations until you're steady again. No hero crap, no wandering. The Smith snorted. Wasn't planning on wandering. Tower's got enough personality for a lifetime. Manbear gave a slow, heavy nod. Understood. Copsey stepped closer to the table, voice low. If Victor comes for us, he said, I want him to understand something. Beans's eyes met. Yes? Copsey's lips pulled back in something that wasn't a smile. We don't break. Kay's voice was barely audible, but it landed anyway. And we don't leave our people wondering if we heard them. Magic's gaze flicked to her, something like respect, sharpening it. Then we prepare, he said, because he heard this. Outside, the camp kept breathing. Lanterns swaying, boots scraping, and the distant thunder of a war that didn't care about grief. But somewhere far beyond the tent and the frost and the broken tower, a man like Victor Malvora would feel the same snap Magic had felt. And unlike Magic, Victor would not translate it into defense. He would translate it into a promise.
So freaking good. Bit of a longer chapter, but so freaking good.
Let's go.
What up, Scott? How are you, brother? Happy New Year's Eve, man.
Hey, Scott. Happy New Year's Eve. Do you want to see what Ella just gave me?
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's so dope. Oh, me muffin.
So they had the Christmas shop and stuff like that at the school, and she was supposed to give these to us for Christmas and totally forgot. Only my kid.
She is friggin' adorable.
She is. Yes, and this is getting so good. I'm excited. Let's go.
Oh, you guys wanted more than just the one chapter? I'm just kidding. All right.
I was going to say, you best be kidding.
All right, here we go, everybody.
Chapter 246, Victor Without His Shadow. Something was wrong before anyone opened their mouth to name it. Victor Malvora woke to a room that felt miscalibrated. Not colder, not louder, not obviously altered, just off, like the air had forgotten the shape it was supposed to hold. He lay still and listened to the fortress breathe, stones settling, wards whispering, the faint, constant hum of layered defenses cycling in perfect intervals with one missing beat. Victor sat up. Irritation came first, clean and immediate, the kind a master felt when a finely tuned instrument produced a note half a step wrong. He crossed the corridor barefoot, robe trailing behind him like a second shadow. Lanterns bowed their light. Wards recognized their architect and lowered their pulse. At the war room door he paused. A pressure sat behind his ribs, as if his body had been holding a breath without his consent. Victor placed his palm against the seal. The ward network answered in tidy layers. One layer twitched. Not a breach, not a scrape of intrusion, an absence. Victor stepped inside. The war room was exactly as he'd left it. Maps pinned with surgical precision, ink lines clean as bone, crystals aligned to drink information from the world. His array, an elegant cluster of cut stones and etched metal, rested in the center like a heart made of math. Everything pulsed, everything glowed, except one small stone near the edge, dull as cooled glass. Victor didn't touch it. He didn't need to. That stone carried a secondary resonance, a subtle counter-hum that steadied the array like a balance weight, a redundant channel, a private line. It was silent now. Victor extended his senses outward in careful segmented probes. Fortress wards first, then listening posts, then the relays that carried reports back to him. Everything answered. Everything answered except one place. He tried again, narrower, more precise. The response wasn't silence. It was a jagged echo, like a voice heard through a wall after the speaker had left the room. Victor's fingers curled slightly at his side. He did not say her name out loud, but the shape of it formed anyway in the back of his mind. Lydia. He reached for that presence the way he might reach for a familiar tool on a table. His hand met empty air. The pressure behind his ribs sharpened into something colder. A footstep sounded at the threshold. Victor didn't turn. He didn't have to. A sentry entered, one of the inner watch chosen for steadiness. The man kept his head bowed and his boots quiet, as if silence might soften whatever he carried. "My lord," the sentry said. Victor stared at the dead stone. "Speak." The sentry swallowed once. A forward listener intercepted a guardian-council exchange, he said carefully, confirmed by a secondary post. Their bursts are shorter, harder to catch, but the content was clear. Victor's voice stayed even. "Continue." "The team that followed the false relay returned," the sentry said. "Injured. Kay, Ashley, Manbear, the smith." Victor's jaw tightened a fraction. Tactical interest flickered, then went still again. "And," Victor said, soft as a razor, "what was the event?" The sentry hesitated, then forced the words out like pulling wire through teeth. "They reported that Lydia Malvora was killed at the Riverside Watchtower." Victor turned. He did not blink. He did not inhale. His composure didn't shatter loudly. It simply ceased to exist. A brutal, invisible force snapped across the space. The sentry never finished his next breath. He was lifted and slammed into the stone wall hard enough to crack mortar. The sound was short and final, like a snapped branch wrapped in cloth. The sentry's body went still, head lolling at an impossible angle, boots dangling an inch above the floor for one suspended heartbeat before the magic released him. He hit the ground with a dull, disrespectful thud. Silence flooded the war room. The crystals continued to hum, obedient, oblivious, still doing their work. Victor stood over the collapsed body as if it were furniture that had been moved poorly. His hands were steady. His face was not. Not in expression. Victor's expression remained composed. But in presence, in the way the air around him tightened, as though the room itself had become afraid to move. He looked back to the dead stone. So that was the wrongness. Not sabotage, not miscalibration, a severed tether. A void shaped exactly like her. Memory surged up uninvited, nights of ink and starlight, Lydia leaning over maps with that cold, delighted precision. "If they think you're aiming for the throat," she said once, tapping a line, "aim for the hands." Victor's fingers dug into the edge of the war table until the wood creaked. He could see it now, couldn't stop seeing it. Lydia in a ruined tower, still moving, still calculating, still too proud to retreat. And then the moment the Guardian's blades forced reality to accept her absence. Victor drew a breath. It went in clean. It came out through clenched teeth. Another step sounded behind him, lighter, deliberate. Tempest entered. Her eyes flicked to the body on the floor, then to the spiderweb crack in the wall, then to Victor's posture at the table. She didn't flinch the way most people did around death. She only paused, as if cataloging a new kind of weather. "You didn't know," Tempest said quietly. Victor didn't look at her. "I felt the tear," he said. His voice was calm enough to be terrifying. "I assumed intrusion." Tempest's mouth tightened. "Someone just told you." Victor's gaze stayed on the dead stone. "Yes." Tempest took a careful step forward, wary in a way that made even her feel smaller. "She's dead," she said. Not as news now, but as confirmation. Lydia. The name landed in the room like dropped glass. Victor's shoulders didn't slump. His grief did not spill. It changed state. It hardened. "It is theft," Victor said softly. Tempest's eyes narrowed. "They didn't steal her, they—" Victor turned his head just enough for her to feel the edge of his attention. "Dared," he corrected. Tempest held his gaze anyway. "You're going to burn the world for this." Victor's eyes were bright, too bright. Not wet, not broken, focused. He swept one hand across the war table. The older maps built for patience, skittered away as if a wind had entered the room. Markers rolled, strings snapped. Careful geometry collapsed into scattered debris. Tempest watched, unease tightening her throat. "You're starting over." "Yes," Victor said. He pulled fresh parchment from a drawer, blank except for faint grid lines, and set it down like a verdict. Then he began to draw, not with artistry, with brutality. Safe corridors became traps. Fallback nodes became choke points. The Guardian's network, those fragile, hopeful lines that said we can still reach each other, became a diagram of pressure and pain. Tempest swallowed. "What are you planning?" Victor didn't slow. "Every signal," he said, voice flat, "becomes a blade." Tempest's jaw flexed. "You're going to turn their web against them." Victor's stylus paused for the first time. His gaze slid to the dead stone. The absence stabbed him under the ribs. He did not allow his face to change. He allowed his voice to drop, intimate and cold. "In Lydia's name," Victor said. Tempest went still. Victor lifted his head, and the room seemed to shrink around the clarity in his expression. "Wake every listener," Victor ordered, "every sleeper, every knife we planted that hasn't yet cut." Tempest stared. "All of them?" "All of them," Victor repeated. The body on the floor did not matter to him anymore, not as a consequence, not as a warning. It was simply the first thing that had broken when the world dared to remove Lydia Malvora from it. Outside, thunder rolled across the far horizon. Inside, the storm took its final shape, and this time it was not Tempest's.
Bum, bum, bum.
Let's fucking go.
What up, Future Face Saul? Can we get some lottery numbers, some stock prices, and are there any dope flavors of Mountain Dew coming out I should be worried about?
Oh my goodness.
I hope you're having a wonderful New Year's Eve day, morning time. Much love, man. All right, I do have one more chapter for us, you guys.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Chapter 247, The Shape of Backlash. The story traveled faster than the medics. It moved on breath and mud, and the thin thrill of a name finally falling. Lydia Malvora passed from mouth to mouth like a match in a dry field. By noon, the camp had invented 3 victories they hadn't earned. A pair of soldiers near the cook fire swore Ash had split the watchtower in half with one swing, and Lydia's illusions had shattered like window glass. Someone else insisted Kay had hacked the magic and turned Lydia's trap back on her with a single command word. A runner told it like Lydia had been dragged screaming into the river valley and drowned under a storm that wasn't Tempest's. Every version ended the same way. We got her. But the closer you got to the command lanes, the less anyone said it with joy. Because Kay and Ash weren't parading. They weren't telling the tale at all unless they were cornered. They moved like people who had survived a room that wanted them dead and hadn't finished being angry about it. And everyone could see the bruises. Ember made sure of that in the blunt, practical way that she handled anything that tried to pretend it didn't need attention. "You," she snapped at a soldier who tried to stop Kay for a quick question. "If you want a story, go ask the campfire. If you want her alive, you let her breathe." The soldier blinked, startled into obedience. Kay didn't look up. She was sitting on a crate, wrapped in a blanket she hadn't asked for, hands braced on her knees like she was holding herself together by force. Her comm rig lay beside her, case cracked, crystals dim, its antenna folded down as if it had learned fear. Ash stood a step behind, not leaning on Kay, not touching her, just there. The way you stand behind a door you don't trust. Beans passed through twice, pretending he had 3 other tasks in the same path, eyes flicking to Kay's throat and Ash's ribs every time. Coffsey paced nearby like a thunderhead in boots, coughing hard enough that the sound made people turn their heads, then pretending he didn't care who was watching. When Beans finally stopped, it wasn't with a speech. It was with one quiet, tired question that carried more weight than any cheer. "You good?" he asked Kay. Kay's mouth twitched. "Define good." Beans's jaw tightened, but he nodded like he'd accept that answer, because it was honest. "Okay," he said. "Define upright." Kay exhaled and tilted her head a fraction, like she was considering the math. Still upright. Coffsey blew out a breath that wasn't a laugh. Barely. Ash's one open eye slid to him. "She's still here," she said, sharp enough to cut. Coffsey lifted both hands. "Yeah, I know. That's the point." He didn't mean it as pressure. He meant it like a prayer he didn't know how to say. They didn't get along. They never did. A runner stumbled in from the north lanes, face pale under grime. "Magic once," he started, then stopped when he saw Kay and Ash. His eyes widened like he'd just realized the victory story had teeth. Beans stepped into the space before the runner could turn it into panic. "Slow down," he said. "What is it?" The runner swallowed. "Comms," he said. "Something's wrong with the comms." Kay's head lifted immediately, pain or not. "Define wrong." The runner's eyes darted. It's little stuff. He shook his head hard, frustrated. "It's like people are hearing things that sound right, and then they aren't. That was the problem with the first signs. They weren't loud. They were plausible." Kay stood, ignoring Amber's glare like she'd gone deaf to it on purpose. Amber pointed at her like a knife. "If you fall, I'm catching you with my foot." Kay didn't even blink. "Noted." Ash moved with her, no arguments, just alignment. Beans and Coffsey followed. Magic had already set up the signal corner like a miniature war room inside the war. A web of crystal plates hung from a frame, etched lines translating traffic into shifting glyphs that rippled and rearranged with every transmission. It was beautiful in a way that made your skin crawl, because it meant the war could be seen, and now it could be seen going wrong. Magic didn't look up when they entered. He stared at the moving pattern like he was watching a creature breathe. "Tell me this is normal," Beans said. Magic's voice was quiet. "It isn't." Kay stepped closer, eyes narrowing at the glyph shift. "That's not random jitter," she murmured. "That's patterned timing." Coffsey's cough broke loose, harsh. "English," he snapped. "What's happening?" Kay didn't take offense. She pointed at one cluster that flared, then collapsed, then flared again somewhere else. "That's a hand," she said, "not a storm. Someone's touching the same points in the networks over and over, testing response, testing trust." Kay's gaze tracked the shimmer as it jumped, here, then there, never staying long, never letting the shape settle. "They're not trying to break it," she said, "not yet. They're trying to make it unreliable." Magic finally looked at her. "How?" Kay lifted one shoulder, then regretted it immediately, pain flashing across her face before she smoothed it away. "With almost right," she said. "A half-second delay, a missing syllable, a tone that's close to familiar." Her eyes stayed locked on the glyphs. "You can survive wrong. You can't survive almost." Ash's jaw worked. "Because you start second-guessing yourself." "Because you start second-guessing everyone," Kay corrected. The plates flickered. A whisper of sound bled through. Thin, fractured, not quite words. It wasn't a voice you could name. It was the idea of a voice. Something shaped like reassurance, then shaped like urgency, then shaped like blame. Beans leaned in, brow furrowed. "That's static dressed up," Kay said. "Noise wearing a mask." Coffsey's hands curled at his sides. "So what do we do?" he demanded. "Because I'm not listening to ghosts." Challenge phrases, Kay said immediately. Call and answer that changes fast. Something he can't copy from yesterday. Magic's eyes sharpened. How fast? Every time, Kay replied. Every exchange, every breath. Beans frowned. That's going to slow everything down. Kay's stare cut to him, sharp enough to make the point without cruelty. That's the point, she said. If the enemy can speak like us, then speed becomes a weapon pointed at our own mouths. Ash nodded once. 2 steps, always. Magic turned slightly, already issuing orders without raising his voice. No action on a single message, he said. No movement on a single voice. You verify. Twice. The plates trembled again. This time the shimmer didn't hop. It spread. The glyphs brightened in a clean sweep. Too clean, like a hand smoothing wrinkles from a cloth. Every channel aligned. Every stray flicker snapped into place. Kay's breathing caught. That's not... Magic's expression emptied. He's here. The room stilled. Not tense, not alert. Stilled like something ancient had looked directly at them and the body forgot how to move. Beans's hands flattened on the table and stayed there like he was afraid to lift them. Ash went rigid, every bruise suddenly irrelevant in the face of something bigger. Coffsey's next cough died in his throat as if his lungs had decided noise was a mistake. Even the crystal plates seemed to hesitate, their shimmer turning slow and reverent. Then the sound came through. Not a mask, not a loop, not a stolen cadence. A single voice, perfectly clean, so clean it made everything else feel childish. Guardians. Victor Malvora didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. It was the kind of calm that didn't invite argument. It ended it. He spoke like he was already standing among them, like distance was a courtesy he chose not to use. You've been very brave, Victor said, quiet and measured, and very foolish. A pause, soft as a blade being turned in a hand. You've congratulated yourselves, I'm sure. You've told each other it was necessary. You've named it justice and called it war. The plates glowed brighter. Kay's cracked rig gave a faint, anxious hum beside her, as if it recognized the shape of the voice and wanted to crawl away from it. Victor continued, still calm, still composed, still too controlled. But you should understand something before you take another breath and pretend it belongs to you. Beans swallowed. The sound was loud in the silence. You have touched what was mine, Victor said. And the first fracture appeared. Small, almost imperceptible, like ice beginning to web across glass. You have taken something you had no right to reach for, no right to name, no right to handle with your filthy hands. His calm didn't vanish, it tightened. Every word sharpened. I have watched you, he went on, and now the contempt started to leak through. I have studied you like a surgeon studies rot, your habits, your tells, your precious little rituals of trust, the way you lean toward one another and mistake it for safety. The crystals trembled as if the air itself disliked him. Victor's voice rose by a fraction. Not loud, but edged now, the restraint starting to burn. You will learn what it means to be heard by someone who hates you. A beat. You will learn what it means to reach for help and find only your own doubt answering back. The plates flashed. A thin hiss of static threaded the room like teeth grinding. Victor's control shifted again, anger stepping closer, pressing its face to the door. I will make your certainty betray you, he said. I will make you question every voice that ever loved you, every word that ever steadied you. I will put comfort in your ears and poison beneath it. His breathing came through now, still measured but heavier, like he was walking himself toward something he'd promised not to become. You will hesitate, Victor said, and the quiet snapped into something harsher. And that hesitation, that beautiful little pause you'll take, because you don't know what's real anymore, will kill you. The plates pulsed hard. Kay's fingers curled on the table edge until her knuckles blanched. Ash didn't blink. Beans didn't move at all. Magic stood perfectly still, like any motion might invite the voice to turn and look directly at him. Victor's voice rose again, anger bleeding through the seams. If it does not kill you, he said, sharper now, it will kill someone you were trying to save, someone who trusted you, someone who believed you were better than me. The calm was gone. It didn't shatter. It burned away. Victor's words started coming faster, the edges fraying into the open hate. You wanted to take from me, he snarled. You wanted to hurt me? The plates flared so bright the glyphs smeared. You don't even understand what you've done. His voice climbed, the restraint collapsing in real time. You don't understand what you woke up. The next sentence came out like he was dragging it up from somewhere deep and violent. I am going to peel your hope apart one layer at a time. The plates rattled, actually rattled, like the room itself flinched. And when you finally turn on each other, Victor spat, when you finally look at the person beside you and see a threat instead of a bond, his voice snapped into a shout. When you learn to fear the sound of your own names, the crystal screamed with feedback, a high, pained whine. Victor's fury detonated fully now, no polish left, no composure, just raw grief turned into rage. You will regret it, he roared, the words slamming through the channel like a fist. You will regret the day you ever dared to breathe in the same world as me. Static exploded across every plate. His voice was a scream now, ragged, feral, personal. Do you hear me? The channel didn't fade. It cut, like someone had ripped a wire out of a living thing. Silence dropped so fast that it made everyone sway. No one moved for a full heartbeat. 2. Then Beans's breath came out in a thin, shaky exhale he clearly hadn't meant anyone to hear. Copsey swallowed hard and finally coughed once, like his body remembered it was allowed to function. Ash's voice came out low, almost flat. He wanted us to freeze. Kay's lips barely moved. He wanted it to be the only thing that felt real. Magic stared at the dead plates, eyes colder than the crystals. Then we make reality expensive for him, he said. Beans's hands were still on the table. He flexed his fingers like he was testing whether they still belonged to him. Okay, he said hoarsely. So that's what grief looks like on him. Copsey's mouth twisted into something that wasn't a smile. Good. Kay finally blinked, slow. Now we rebuild the rules, she said, voice steady in a way that cost her, because he just told us exactly what he's coming for. The cottage didn't hear Victor's message, not directly. What they felt was the shape it left behind. A tightening in the air, a nervousness that arrived before any explanation. People coming through the door with eyes that kept flicking to corners like the shadows had learned to speak. Vicky noticed first, because Vicky always noticed first. Listen, she murmured, not looking up from her work. Kells paused mid-motion, CJ stilled beside her. Ma lifted her chin slightly like she was tasting something. It wasn't a sound you could point to. It was unease wearing the outline of sound. Then a messenger arrived, breathless, shaken, clutching a folded note as if it could bite. Ma took it without ceremony, opened it, read it once. CJ watched her face. What? She said softly, already bracing. Ma's eyes lifted. Lydia Malvora is dead, Ma said. The words hit the room like a stone dropped into still water. Kels's jaw tightened. Vicky's charcoal stopped for a heartbeat, then started again, fast, precise, angry. CJ exhaled slowly, the air leaving her like she'd been holding it for days without knowing. And Victor? Kells asked, voice low. Ma didn't look away. He spoke, she said, and it was clear. CJ's mouth flattened. Clear how? Ma's gaze turned inward for a second as if she could still hear it echoing from someone else's throat. Clear like a promise, she said. Vicky nodded once. Then we don't let promises become prophecy, she murmured. Kells squared her shoulders. We don't let fear rewrite us. CJ looked at Ma, then at the door, then back. Light-heartedness gone, replaced by the steadiness that had always kept her moving when the world tried to crush her. He wants us to doubt, she said. Ma nodded. Then we don't. The room didn't celebrate. There was no cheering. just hands tightening on what mattered, just a shared understanding settling in with the weight of something inevitable. Lydia was gone, and Victor finally had stepped out from behind her shadow.
And that is our Guardians of Unity for this week.
Getting good.
There's craziness going on in the book.
Yeah.
Boom. Book closed. Yeah, it's crazy book. Shit is going to be getting intense. Victor is pissed. He's more mad than he knows that he's mad. Oh man. I do gotta work, so we'll probably say our farewells and smoke one more. Hope everybody's had a dope Wednesday. And a happy Nissan. Much love, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out. Happy New Year. Appreciate you all so very much. I will see everybody tomorrow morning next year on the Cove TV Morning Show. Don't miss out on the listening New Year's Eve party tonight. You can get up here, say New Year, everybody. Or I do the ball trick, and that'll make you get up here. Every time, never fails. Much love, everybody. Have a very safe rest of your night. Be smart in your decisions, and I don't know, look both ways before crossing the street. That's always advice. I hope to see everybody tomorrow morning. Make sure you're following everybody on the Cove team. Chill, fool. You'll get it in a minute. Thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. Thank you to everybody that makes all of this possible. Cove TV is literally brought to you, oh my goodness, to you by viewers like yourself. And we truly couldn't do it without you guys. It's been an incredible year. I'm very excited for a whole damn, oh my goodness, she's going to push buttons. Another one to come. Do you want to go get it or do you want to sit up here? Bye, Felicia. Very excited for stuff to come next year. Don't miss out on the afternoon show tomorrow. And we'll kind of go over all the schedule changes. We'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow morning. But, yeah, I don't know. Thank you guys all so very much. Have a very safe New Year. Happy thing. And much love. Cornbread? I don't fucking know. Save me, like always.
I'm going to try. Let's see how long this lasts before the jaws start working again. Anyways, much love, everybody. Thank you for chilling in the Cove. Great Guardians of Unity. It is getting deep. Like, dang. I hope everybody has a great, happy New Year's Eve. Let's go. Stay safe. Don't forget, if you are out, make sure you call a friend, family, somebody, anybody. And just be really safe. Make sure you're following everybody you're interacting with. Make sure you're following everybody in the co-production, but you don't want to miss out. Let's fucking go. Stay lifted, stay positive, and I will see y'all when I see y'all. Much love, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Let's do this one. Cheers, everybody.
Yes.
I got issues I try to ignore, but sometimes they keep on knocking at my door. And I'm not trying to fight them anymore. What happened yesterday is dead and gone. Even if I hit the ground, I'ma keep my head up in the clouds. I'm done with holding on, 'cause I got that feeling that only comes on days like this. Days like this, days like this. No one can fuck with me on days like this. Days like this, days like this.
Man Bear!
Mama!
Happy New Year, brother. I won't see you till tomorrow, so much love, man. Be safe tonight.
Much love. Happy New Year's Eve.
What happened yesterday is dead and gone. Even if I hit the ground, I'ma keep my head up in the clouds. I'm done with holding on, 'cause I got that feeling that only comes on days like this. Days like this. Days like this. No one can fuck with me on days like this. Days like this. Days like this. No one can fuck with me on days like this. No one can fuck with me on days like this. No one can fuck with me on days like this. Days like this. Days like this. No one can fuck with me on days like this.
Much love, everybody.
Much love, everyone.